Before I get started here, I just want to say a couple things. First, I don't have a microphone. I have one, but it doesn't connect to my computer wonderfully, so my sound quality is going to be shit. And I know it's shit, and I don't want to hear people talking about it being shit, because I'm over it, and I would appreciate if you could be over it as well. The second thing is that I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing, so we're gonna figure that out together. It is 11:14 in the evening, and it really hit me that I did absolutely nothing today. I barely left my couch. I watched 3 movies, none of which particularly moved me. So I suppose, in a way, I am thinking that today was an utter, complete waste of a day. And if I can get something done here, something at all, it won't be a waste. I built a coffin, a small one, because I didn't have the time or the resources to do a full body one, but I wanted to do a full body one. I wanted to build a coffin that would eventually be my coffin that I would get buried in, and if the cemetery wouldn't let me get buried in it, then I would just ask to bury me in the sand, unmarked grave, maybe in the forest. I don't want to be buried at sea, though. Being buried at sea is scary. It's too big and too movement-y. The reason I wanted to build my own coffin is because I am constantly in a state of trying to satirize depression. Do I have depression? I don't know. Probably. I assume I do. There are days where I certainly don't feel like I have the energy to do anything. Today wasn't a day like that. I just lacked any sense of inspiration to do anything beyond sit on my couch. But there are days where I want to do things, and I want to write, I want to explore, I want to journal ideas, and it just doesn't happen. And I end up lying in a position feeling... It's weird. I don't feel empty when I feel depressed. I feel actually very, very, very full. I feel like every single possible thing around me is empty. Like I am a weight, and I'm not sinking. I'm just there. I am in a void. And that's my life. I suppose when I try to satirize death, I'm trying to be productive with the idea of depression. I want my life to be like that Groucho Marx quote. It's on his tombstone. It says, "Excuse me, I can't stand up." That's the style of comedy I strive for every day. Lately, I haven't been good at it. I used to be a funny guy. I really did. I used to really be able to make some magic fly, or maybe I just thought I did, and maybe now I'm really becoming more cognizant of where I stand in the world and how untalented I might actually be. So that is always a possibility. When I made my coffin, I knew that I wanted it to be a challenge. See, everybody does chests, they do bookshelves, shoe boxes. They're all wonderful, they're all fun, they're all pretty difficult to do to some degree, especially if you're not a carpenter. And I am certainly not a carpenter. The closest thing I am to a carpenter is being Laura Carpenter. That's some of that lack of comedy skills that I was talking about earlier. I would have probably said something funnier about 5 years ago. At least I thought I would have said something funnier 5 years ago. Maybe that's depression. It's wonderful, isn't it? We're discovering things about me every day. Anyway, building a coffin is really, really, really difficult. Essentially, you are building a hexagon, and that means you have to cut the edges of the wood at a very specific angle, and you have to do it exactly the same twice. And then you have to do 2 more planks of wood that are once again at a very, very exact angle. And then you have to do the other sides, because you have a piece on top that has to connect evenly, and you don't want shoddy craftsmanship. My coffin sucks. It's a piece of crap. Got a big patch in it. There's a nail jutting out. Angle's never quite worked out, and I have to do a lot of forcing. And now it sits on my coffin table. It sits on my coffee table, but I call it a coffin table now because I thought that'd be funny. When I try to be funny, I don't know. I've really devolved to a bit of a formulaic style of presentation lately. I try to dissect other people's words and make them sound exaggerated. I will occasionally just yell. I will try to divert expectations and come up with something like the idea of a coffin table. And I'm not saying that I don't think I'm unfunny. I just think I'm somewhere between funny and unfunny. I think I got my moments, but everyone's got their moments. Everyone can make someone laugh once every 10 times. But I make people laugh 3 out of 10 times. And I feel like everyone around me is making them laugh 8 out of 10 times. And when that happens, I would just rather sit and say nothing. Laugh, so it seems like I'm still an active participant. But I don't know, I think I'm past the point in my life where I can be a really funny person. I still perform. Well, actually, this might be it. I don't know. See, I just graduated, and I'm not in an active theater troupe, and I'm not in any productions, and I don't know when I'm going to, or if I'm going to audition for anything ever again. And I've been an actor literally my entire life. Like, there's a video of me and my brother, and I'm 2, maybe 3 years old, and we're dancing in front of the camera, and I take a step forward, and I literally just yell out, "It's me!" Because that was me. That was me in my natural habitat, performing. It's in my fucking blood to perform. And there was an old camcorder. It's lost forever now, unfortunately, but I was taking my stuffed animals and my action figures, and I was having them do little skits, probably 2 minutes long, felt like 2 hours to me, of us doing whatever ideas I had. And I did all the voices. And, you know, they're not... Well, I'm not going to criticize my 4-year-old self's production. They were fucking great, alright? Because I was 4 years old, and I was living life to the fullest. And about 6, 7, I start doing my theater camps, and they are what I live for. I played my very first role in any show ever. I remember this. It was a theater summer camp where you created the character, and the person leading the camp had to then sit down and write like a 5, probably 10-minute play that involved every single character and create a story arc around it. Which, gosh, I never really give him credit for that. That sounds really hard. Especially when you've got, people that are like, I want to be the blue princess that's the ice queen of everything. And then you have a guy that wants to be Aslan the lion. And you've got to put Aslan and the Ice Queen in together. Anyway, my first show, when I did this, I was a dragon named Relish. See, I still think that's funny. That's a great name for a dragon. And maybe I'm going to have to rehash that at some point. I'm going to have to pull a playbook from my 7-year-old self, because that was a damn good idea when I still had him. And Relish was a coward. He didn't want to fight. Everyone else was brave and wanted to fight and was there to really stick it to the man and either be the evil or be the good, and they were going to cause the greatness, and they were going to have a few funny lines, but nah, I was there from day one to make a complete and utter ass of myself, right? I didn't know jack shit about Commedia dell'arte, but I was 100% a Zarni in that show. I was prancing around the stage. I was screaming in fear. Oh my God, I was sleeping and waking up and falling into mud pits, and it probably wasn't that great. No, what am I doing? I told myself I wasn't going to do this. It was great. It was incredible. And then I did a later one where I was a wise old beaver that loved making wooden shoes. So this queen could, tap dance and break dance with these magical wooden shoes that I, the wise old beaver, made. That's kind of still who I am. I am a performer, but I am going to be an actor that only plays the roles of the wacky, foolish, wise, always memorable side character that is there. You could remove them and the plot would still go on. And, that's kind of followed me my entire life. And it's kind of insane that I knew about this before any director I ever worked with. I played the Crocodile Hunter in 6th grade. That wasn't my first proper school show, but it's the only one worth really talking about. I was the short man in 5th grade, but we're going to skip that one. So, 6th grade, I am the Crocodile Hunter. I'm Steve Irwin. And again, same deal. I'm walking around the stage, but, just being me, doing what I can. I'm sneaking. I'm using the worst Australian accent you could possibly imagine in a very high-pitched 12-year-old voice that has come nowhere near to dropping. I don't think my voice probably properly dropped until I was about, honestly, probably 15, maybe 14. Still remember 13 I had it, so we'll say around then. Middle school, Admiral Horatio Hornhunker, who, once again, didn't know jack shit about being at sea. He was the wild, goofy character on the side, not the main character, never the main character. High school comes around and I'm the short man. I'm Dr. Einstein, arsenic and old lace. I'm Bert Jefferson. I'm Cesario, who was a narrator. That's always a bit of a stickler I've had with myself. But we'll talk about that later. I graduate with an actual lead role. Um, I just want to kind of recount this in my life as a performer here. My life has been a constant, unending cycle of a more handsome, more generic, more stage presence filled actor who is above me. I see a junior, a senior when I'm coming in, and of course they get all the leads. I'm only a freshman, I'm only a sophomore. I'm not complaining. That's how it works. And I respected that. And then when I'm a junior and I'm a senior, a younger boy with just the same level of star power and presence and just a little bit more handsome than myself always came in and got the lead role when I thought I was finally my turn. That's how I've known. I'm never meant to be a lead actor in any show or anything I do. It's just not for me. It's not that I don't want it. I would love it. Let's make it clear. I'm always I love stealing the show. I've done it a couple times not so much. A couple times I think I do, and then nope, no one really gave a shit. But I would never say no to a lead role. I got an ego. Everybody's got an ego. I got one. I need to be scratched a couple times. So that's me in elementary school, middle school, high school, and in college too. All four bastions of education, of learning theater, and I was overlooked in every single one. I remember the names of all four of them. I don't really think I want to share them with you all in case I don't want to stir any shit. But I'm sure if you happen to listen to this, and we happen to have done this, I'm sure you have an idea that I'm talking about you. And listen, there's no hard feelings at all. I am not jealous. I'm petty. I sometimes feel like I deserve the role a bit more than some people. In certain situations, I feel like there were mistakes in casting. Not enough that I would ever cause a fuss about it. And very rarely, too. It's most of the time I respect it. Because, again, I recognize these people having more potential to take the main spotlight than myself. I'm a cowardly dragon. That's just my nature. I really did think things were going to change in college, though. I thought I was going to be a breakout talent. I thought finally I was in a position where I had grown and excelled and thrived, and I was going to get my break. And I did. I did get my break. I played Christopher Boone when I was, must have been, I was 20 when it happened. This is my sophomore year, so this is later half. It's not important. No one cares about that. Of course, it's not a traditional lead role. It's a cowardly dragon role that is in the front, takes the center stage. You know, not a lot of plays like that, you know. And I got it because it's kind of the role I was born to be. In actuality, that really was. I think if I continue to perform, I'm never gonna get a role quite so fitting as that one. I think really I might have peaked at 20 years old in college. And now I'm out of it. I haven't actually acted since September. They thrust me more into a leadership position, directing, videography, the whole works. And I don't really know what's next. I don't. I can't imagine not acting. Like, the idea that I could go a whole year without performing it's kind of making me nervous right now, because I don't think I've ever gone a whole year without acting for a long-ass time. Like, maybe, honestly, since I was 5 or 6. I think it's just been a constant in my life, and This is the hard part, though. I can't just go and audition. I mean, I could, but it's not gonna be easy for me. There are a lot of men out there that are cowardly dragons. And they know how to be a more cowardly dragon than I think I ever could be. Yeah, it's in my blood, but that blood only takes you so far. I've been applying, just casually. I don't really know what's gonna ever happen if I get a acceptance though or a callback. I don't know what I'd do. So maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm gonna go into theater administration because it's stable. Because my parents would look at that and they'd still consider it a business job, and it'd mean I'd get money and I'd still be involved in theater. I can't stop acting. I don't think I will. I don't think I ever could. Fuck it. I'm acting right now. You know that, right? Like, yeah, I'm putting on a face. I'm showing a vulnerable side of myself, but like, this isn't natural. I don't just talk for 21 minutes to myself. There's no one here to talk to. I'm a performance. Yeah. So that is my life, and it's where I'm at now. I've been getting an image in my head lately where I'm screaming at God. I'm on like a hill or something, probably, and some over clouds. Probably a couple other cliches in there, and I'm screaming up at the sky. I think it might be just me remembering, a year or two ago, I got upset, ex-girlfriend thing, and I was screaming on a cliff, Northern California. We scream a lot at God. There's a lot of screaming at God, I think, in a lot of people's lives. And now, I know there's no physical screaming hilltops, stormy clouds. It's not. That's not screaming. Screaming is a feeling, not an action. When we scream and we physically emote it, that's just us acting on a feeling. That's just a feeling taking control and making the body react. But it's something deeper down than just an action or emotion or even the reaction. It's a feeling that I can't be pushed inside myself anymore. I've been feeling pushed inside myself a lot lately. I'm a little afraid of coming out of this myself. And myself's getting smaller and smaller every day. And I'm afraid of pushing past it. Because I don't know what to do when I'm out there. I'm like a little mold of myself. A little template, stencil. And yeah, the stencil's getting smaller, but it's still me. Still, you can see that's Park. I try to get bigger. I try to really emote. The hell is that gonna look like? 'Cause all I can imagine it would look like is some giant hazy blob. And I don't really know if that's what I want to be. You know, that's who the fuck wants to be a blob? But I don't know what I could shape it into. You know, bigger version of myself is just gonna get smaller again, and I could do something new. But I don't know what to commit that new shape into being. So I'm kind of just stuck here, sitting on my couch watching movies, trying to keep my macros down, jotting down dialogue to like 4 or 5 plays that are never going to get finished because I am writing without a real sense of truth. And I'm just getting smaller every day. And I'm pretty sure if this keeps going, I'm going to get invisible. And then there's going to be nothing stopping me from sitting in a office, not even in the theater, not doing art, not doing anything. Because there's nothing to indicate that I shouldn't. Alright. Well, that's me. That's tonight. I don't think I'm ready to go to bed yet, but I think I got out what I needed to say.